Let's get more now on Donald Trump's two-day visit to Paris, where he's holding talks with President Macron and attending Bastille Day celebrations. The two men are expected to discuss joint action in Syria and Iraq against the so-called Islamic State group. Well, we're waiting for a news conference to get started, but in the meantime, let's speak to the French journalist Nabila Ramdani, who's here with me now. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. In your view, how significant is this meeting?
I think it's a very important meeting for actually both of them. The newly elected President Macron, I think, is far more interested in the institution of the American president than he is in Donald Trump himself. He realized that he overdid the Trump bashing at the G7 summit in Brussels a few months ago, and he now wants to get on with what is the most powerful man on earth. And this highlights the pragmatic nature of Emmanuel Macron, who also realizes that it's a good way to start his own term in office, and it's a huge achievement to actually attract Donald Trump to France. Now, of course, Donald Trump is a hugely divisive figure who has said some very unpleasant things about France in the past, not least of all that he was overrun by immigrants and indeed Muslims, for whom he is particularly unpleasant towards. Remember last year he also said that his friend Tim had to shorten his holiday because Paris had turned into a very unpleasant place indeed, and he also said that there were no-go areas for the police, which are in fact quite ridiculous claims. So I think President Macron will try to prove to his counterpart that Paris remains a very beautiful, civilized and generally speaking a very safe place, and will try to put these silly claims at bed.
I mean, you make it sound like both men, in a sense, have had to cool it a little bit. President Macron being less sort of masculine and aggressive towards President Trump, and President Trump, I suppose, accepting the hospitality of his French counterpart and implicitly saying, well, Paris is a good place to come.
Yes, I think, and there's definitely an attempt from President Macron to try to make the visit as pleasant as possible for his US counterpart, and that's why the entire visit is primarily designed to celebrate the 100th anniversary of America's entry into the First World War in 1917, and indeed to commemorate also American troops liberating France and indeed Paris during the Second World War along with the French, and there will be also a huge emphasis, of course, on Bastille Day tomorrow, with the military parades in honor of both the French and the American armies. Remember that these two heads of state are also commanders-in-chief of their respective armies. So there will be a huge emphasis on the military aspect. And the official welcome ceremony started at the Invalides, which is also a very symbolic place for French martial glory. That's where Napoleon Bonaparte is buried. And the two men have been reviewing the armies. So it will be, quite a significant part of the visit.
OK, Nabila, we're going to leave it there for the moment, but if the two men give their press conference, don't go far away because we'll be coming back to you. Thanks very much.